KB Cycles here with another video on January the 15th. I wanted to do a small video on cycles in the Norwegian market, which is energy dominated, and the cycles should be rather similar to those in the S&P. So this should be the dominant cycle for Norway, and it's about 238 calendar days. And that's a rather interesting cycle, because that's the cycle of heliocentric Venus-Jupiter conjunctions, and those two planets are the strongest tidal planets on the Sun. But that's a whole another subject. But very interesting to see this planetary cycle showing up in the stock market. So let's have a look here. We have a low, and we have a low, and, excuse me, and this one is not that visible, but there's a low, and here's a low, and there, and there, and there, and there. Well, here the low was a bit early. So this has been a dominant cycle for a long time. This low was a bit early, and this low was a bit early, but here we're back on track, and there, and there. Here it's a bit messy. This is a bit early. Okay, and there's a low. And here's a straddled top or something. You can't see this low. And we have a low about there. So this one, of course, shows up in the Fourier spectrum as a strong cycle. And it is in a topping phase, and it projects a low around June, it seems. And that's my scenario for Norway. You know, we have stayed strong because of oil and energy, but we had what I think is a move down. We're in a bounce B, and we need the C move down into maybe around June to complete this bear market. And as I said, interesting, this planetary cycle. And if you divide this by 2, you get 119 days. That's the cycle of conjunctions or oppositions of Venus-Jupiter from the heliocentric view. And as we know, the 16-week cycle, around 80 trading days, or around 116 calendar days, has been a dominant cycle in the US. In Norway, it's rather the double cycle that's dominant. And the next one showing up in the Fourier spectrum is also very interesting in Norway. It shows up as 397 calendar days, but I have a suspicion it could be 2 days longer, because 399 days is the heliocentric conjunctions of Earth and Jupiter. That's also a very strong tidal cycle upon the Sun. And I've been kind of watching this for many years for Norway, but it never worked that well. But it has some effect, I think. So, you know, we had some kind of a low here. Can't see this one, but there's a low, and you know, a bit messy. You have a double low, but not there. There's a low. Well, and there, and there, and a bit messy. So you see, this is not a very useful cycle, but it has some. It's there, but you know, it's not good for timing. But it affects the overall trend. You know, the bigger the cycles get, it's more about trend. It's not about finding highs and lows. And then there's another even longer cycle. It's currently a bit of a mystery for me. It's 515 calendar days. And you know, it worked here, it worked there. This one seems to work even better than the 397 days. There's a low, here's a low, kind of a low, and there's a low. So this one, yeah, really interesting. I never been aware of this one actually. So as you see, this one has a low already around March, but as I said, these bigger cycles are more about trend and not finding the exact turning points. So this could be in an interval around this, around March. But it is projecting weakness. We had the previous one. It is topping out, and then it goes down into July. And we started with this one, and if I make a so all these cycles are, well, this one is about to turn down, this one is also very close to turn down, and this one is going down for not that much more longer, but for a while. So the composite, the adding all these together, they show us a low around June. So yeah, that's my scenario for Norway. And if Norway does that, the S&P should as well, because if the S&P starts a new bull market, Norway correlates too much with the S&P to crash down in a deep bear market. So yeah, anyway, you can't trust these cycles. You have to work short term and using shorter cycles of say 2 weeks, or my 4-week cycle, or even shorter ones. But I'm not accepting this bear market is over until I'm absolutely sure it's over. And still, there's a bearish scenario possible, and for Norway I would say very likely. So, yep, see you in the next one.